All right, so let's get this one out of the way because this one irritated the hell out of me today. I saw online today this meme, this cartoon drawing of two cops, one holding a baton coming in a downward strike, and a black man in handcuffs shielding himself from the strike. His hands were cuffed, he was in front of him, and then another cop behind him grabbing the baton. And the meme was something to the effect of, when good cops turn the bad ones in, this stuff will stop and all this crap. And it's something I get a lot. I get a lot of people who wind up putting in comments, Officer Izzo, if you're such a good cop, you'll turn in the bad ones. Let me explain this to you as simply as I possibly can off the bat. Number one, thanks to the brainwashing of the media, you are led to believe, you drink the Kool-Aid blindly, and you are led to believe that there is this swarm of bad police officers out there. When the percentage is so fractionally minute, it's probably unchartable. But it's becoming doctrine, almost to the fact of like it's religion, to where the generations now are growing up to believe that the police are bad, and that's ingrained in them. And the daily proof that we see as police officers, now especially in the black community, is all it takes is for you to drive past a black male under the age of 10, wave to him, and watch his response to you. Watch how he will ignore you, or he will brush you off, or sometimes it's heartbreaking to hear him say, what did I do? And get all afraid. And when you go and ask him why he's afraid, he'll flat out say, because y'all kill people. Y'all kill black people. And thanks to the media, this is now a reality of our culture of the police and citizens. But I digress. The irritation lies in the fact that people think that there are cops who do not turn in bad cops. I'll explain to you. That's not the case. It is extremely difficult to get past the command staff or even to the command staff to let them know about people who should not be police officers. I attended an FTO, a field training officer class, not too long ago to become a field training officer, and one of the questions that was shared by all 30-something of us in that class is, how do we bounce people out of the program who need to be bounced out of the program? Plain and simply, what happens when you get somebody who graduates the academy, who gets hired, went through that whole interview process, interviews well, the department has spent thousands of dollars on them, but now the department doesn't want to hear this person is not qualified to patrol our streets. You know what? I've said this before and I hold strong to it. A majority of the time, with exceptions to the rule, command staff seems to forget where they came from, and command staff has an ideological way of policing where they try to keep their jobs instead of trying to do their jobs, especially in the chief's department, because a chief is an appointed position, the buck stops at the chief's desk, and the chief doesn't have to be a cop. The chief could have been anyone. There are people I know who have not been cops who've been appointed chiefs of police. And it's their job to report to the mayor, the village president, the village attorney, the village manager, the city council, whatever you have, their role as police chiefs. And if a police chief is very charismatic and is a good damn salesman, they're going to keep their job. But you know what? When you do write a memo, or you do go to a command staff or a sergeant or chain of command, and you flat out say, listen, this person is not qualified to be the police in our town, you violate policy sometimes, because there are some departments that have harassment policies that say you can't criticize other people, because we're all snowflakes now, aren't we? And I'll tell you this too, when you point out the shortcomings of another officer, you get a target on your back that's bigger than day. It's pretty impressive. Look, I'm not a perfect cop. As a matter of fact, I'm lazy at times. I don't police to my greatest potential at times, and I'll admit that. I'm definitely not command staff material. I'm patrol officer material, period. But when you point the finger and say that the cops don't call out their own, that's a load of crap. And any officer will tell you that they have had personal words with the individual officers. They've written memos. They've been frustrated. We tell people in our department when someone should not be on the street. But a lot of times our voice isn't even heard. So that meme was insulting, and it was ridiculous, and it was inaccurate. I think it's your job as citizens to start getting much more involved in your police departments and who you appoint on your village boards, who you appoint in that police department, who's promoted, who's on the police fire commission. Get to know your patrol officers, get to know the top and the bottom and everywhere in between. This is your fault as a community for not understanding what we do, and it's our fault as officers for not pulling you in and educating you with what we do. If we want to change, we all got to do this together, and we're not. So let's get our head out of our rear ends and do it.